North Korea. For most of us, it's a name that conjures images of military parades, nuclear threats, and a population shrouded in mystery. It's one of the most secretive and feared nations on Earth, a place where the past isn't just history, it's a weapon used to control the present. To truly understand why North Korea is the way it is today, we need to peel back the layers of propaganda and journey into a story born from war, revolution, and the chilling grip of absolute power. Our story begins in 1945, as the smoke clears from World War II Korea. A nation that had suffered for decades under Japanese colonial rule was finally liberated. But freedom was fleeting. The victorious Allied powers, the Soviet Union and the United States, couldn't agree on the future of the Korean peninsula. So they drew a line, a temporary border along the 38th parallel. The Soviets would oversee the north, and the Americans, the south. This division was never meant to be permanent, but in the new, frigid climate of the Cold War, ideological differences quickly froze this temporary line into a permanent, heavily armed border. In the north, the Soviets found their man, a young, charismatic anti-Japanese guerrilla fighter named Kim Il. With Moscow's backing, he methodically consolidated power. By 1948, he officially established the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or DPRK, what we now know as North Korea. A new state was born, founded on communist ideals and centered around a single, powerful leader. The stage was set for a devastating conflict. Just 2 years later, in the early morning of June 25, 1950, Kim Il-sung made a fateful decision. He ordered his troops to storm across the 38th parallel, launching a full-scale invasion of South Korea. The goal was to reunite Korea by force under his rule. The Korean War had begun. What followed was 3 years of unimaginable brutality. The conflict pulled in global powers, with the United States and its allies backing the South, and China and the Soviet Union supporting the North. Cities were leveled, landscapes were scorched, and families were torn apart by the fighting and the shifting front line. Over 3 million people, mostly civilians, lost their lives. In 1953, the fighting finally stopped. But it didn't end with a peace treaty. It ended with an armistice, a ceasefire. This means that, technically, North and South Korea are still at war to this day. This unresolved conflict became the bedrock of North Korea's entire worldview. It fueled a powerful and paranoid ideology, the belief that the nation is surrounded by enemies, particularly the United States, who are constantly waiting for the chance to invade and destroy them. This constant sense of siege, this perpetual state of war, became the justification for everything that was to come. With the war over, Kim Il-sung turned his focus inward, determined to build a nation that would never again be vulnerable. He began to forge North Korea into a perfect totalitarian state. He introduced a new state ideology called Juki, which translates to self-reliance. On the surface, it sounded noble, a call for Koreans to shape their own destiny without foreign interference. But in reality, Juki became the ultimate tool for isolation. It cut North Korea off from the rest of the world, creating a sealed-off information vacuum where the state controlled everything. The government seized control of all media. Radios and televisions were fixed to only receive state-approved channels. Religion was effectively outlawed, replaced by a new kind of faith: absolute loyalty to the leader. Criticizing Kim Il-sung or his government became the gravest of crimes, punishable not just for the individual, but for their entire family for generations. Loyalty to the Kim family was elevated above all else, even loyalty to one's own parents or children. When Kim Il-sung died in 1994, power didn't pass to a new party leader. It passed to his son, Kim Jong-il. And when Kim Jong-il died in 2011, it passed to his grandson, Kim Jong-un. This transition cemented North Korea's status as the world's only communist hereditary dictatorship, a dynasty built on fear. This total control had devastating consequences. In the 1990s, the collapse of the Soviet Union, combined with floods and government mismanagement, triggered a catastrophic famine. It's known in North Korea as the Arduous March. While the exact number is unknown, it's estimated that anywhere from 500,000 to over 1 million people starved to death. Yet, while its citizens were dying in the streets, the government maintained its iron grip. speaking about the hunger was forbidden. The regime refused to allow transparent international aid, fearing it would expose the weakness of their system. For countless North Koreans, the simple act of finding food to survive became a silent act of rebellion. For those who dared to defy the regime in any way, a fate worse than starvation often awaited. North Korea operates a network of vast political prison camps, known as Kwanleso. These are not ordinary prisons. They are sprawling compounds where, according to the UN and numerous defector testimonies, some of the worst human rights abuses of our time occur. The regime practices a 3 generations of punishment rule, meaning if one person is deemed a political criminal, their parents, spouse, and children can all be imprisoned with them for life. Escapees from these camps describe a horrifying daily reality of torture, forced labor in deadly conditions, systematic starvation, and public execution. These camps are designed not just to punish, but to erase dissent from the face of the earth. Entering the 21st century, North Korea's paranoia and isolation took on a new, terrifying dimension: nuclear weapons. Under Kim Jong-il and later Kim Jong-un, the regime poured its limited resources into developing a nuclear arsenal. Despite crippling international sanctions and widespread poverty, the government chose missiles over meals. Each successful nuclear test or long-range missile launch was a defiant message to the world, a declaration that North Korea, no matter how isolated, could not be ignored or easily toppled. The nuclear program became the ultimate guarantee of the regime's survival. So what is life actually like for the 26 million people living inside this system today? It is a life of total control. Access to the global internet is virtually non-existent, reserved for a tiny elite. The state operates its own, closed-off national internet. Filled with propaganda, most citizens cannot travel freely, not even within their own country, without permission. From the moment they are born, children are indoctrinated to worship the Kim family as divine, godlike figures who have sacrificed everything for the Korean people. The outside world is portrayed as a corrupt, hostile place. For those who dream of freedom, escape is a life-or-death gamble. Defecting is considered the ultimate act of treason. Those caught trying to cross the heavily guarded borders, most often into China, face torture, execution, or a life sentence in a political prison camp. Yet, despite the incredible risks, thousands have managed to escape over the years, and it is through their brave and harrowing testimonies that we know what we do about the reality of life inside the Hermit Kingdom. North Korea is more than just a country on a map. It is a stark and sobering warning. It's a warning of what can happen when absolute power goes unchecked, when an entire nation's history is rewritten to serve a single family, and when fear is enshrined as law. Behind the grand military parades and the carefully crafted propaganda lies a nation of millions trapped in time, a people whose potential is suppressed, and for whom freedom remains a distant, almost unimaginable dream. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more deep dives into the events and places that shape our world.